Believe it or not, it is the Welcome Media Restaurant. We just didn't rock up here and paste that on because we're here. It is called the Welcome Media Restaurant, and they've made us feel most welcome. Our base in Montpellier, the Wallabies base in Montpellier. The pictures you're seeing are from Nantes, and this gentleman is the great Johnny Wilkinson. Boy, have the English been longing for him to come back from injury. What role will he play today?
Well, he'll play some sort of role. The great white hope, Johnny Wilkinson, lining up for the anthems and another big game of Rugby World Cup.
England and Samoa, recorded by the Rugby and the French Army choir.
Final words, Ben Darwin, how do England win this game?
They've just got to keep it in the forwards. They've got to go straight through the middle, line out, scrum, rolling maul, get it to 10.
And Tunie, if the Samoans have got any chance, how are they going to crack the English?
Well, they're going to copy what the South Africans did. They have to rattle, bash, destroy the English pack, dominate the breakdown, get out in front early and hang on for dear life.
The English side, changes made after their defeat at the hands of the Box, and a war cry from the Samoans about to unleash.
The Samoans have had their say. Now let's hear from your commentators for this very important game from Nantes.
Lewis, the referee, will be presiding over this one. And David, it just, for me, the question that has to be asked is it the fault of the coaching within Northern Hemisphere rugby, especially within England, or is it just a dearth of talent at the moment?
Oh, I don't think you can answer that question in 30 seconds, can you? I think there's a whole load of different things. One thing is for sure, the English players haven't performed to their full potential in this Rugby World Cup. And this is their first opportunity with their backs to the wall to really do something special. So for me, it's a real test of character. It's a test of how much backbone they've got and whether they can turn it on when it really, really matters.
Well, they haven't succeeded in doing so for quite some time now as Johnny Wilkinson gets us underway, and the Samoans with some very loose handling, but that might not be totally against their game plan. I mean, they won't want to throw possession away, but keeping it loose will allow them an opportunity to maybe use that outside spark that they have in the backs, which was very much lacking, especially against the Tongans. Ball charged down and an immediate opportunity for Joe Worsley. A very cumbersome effort to chase after the ball there from Joe Worsley. Still, England with a golden opportunity. Gomersall to Wilkinson. Out to Tate. It's very statty again. Lucy cutting back inside. Mark Cueto, whose experiment at full back has not been continued. Popped off. This is better handling from the forwards than we've seen for almost years. Still, the Samoans defend. Gomersall to Wilkinson. Long punt. And he's over for the try. Well, the dream start for Brian Ashton. It all came from the charge down kick. And while we were talking about Martin Corrie's one-dimensional nature, but the one thing you do know that you'll get from him is a full 80 minutes if he's kept on the pitch that long, and a real positive start for him to get over the try line.
Well, it's the ideal start for England. You know, 5 points on the scoreboard. You knowing what Johnny Wilkinson is like, it'll be 7. But actually, they could have scored 2 or 3 times before that. Nick Easter, after a beautiful little slip pass, then picked and drove, and I think he should have allowed Gomersall to have released it. There was a very poor pass to Matthew Tate, who had to take it behind him. You know, so just these little bits of accuracy. I mean, they'd come away with the points, but little bits of accuracy. Hopefully, their confidence will grow, having converted the pressure into points.
But there is the distinct possibility, conversely, that when we look back 4 years, that the Samoans, well, the raw tells you everything about that kick. Not that it was, as you say, David, ever in doubt. But the Samoans took a shock lead against England. Well, Samoans will definitely feel here, okay, they've got to put that behind them. There have been many examples of sides conceding early tries against teams that they would feel that they would like to beat, and I know that it does seem ridiculous on the world stage that we're talking about the Samoans in that sort of nature as the favourites almost for this one, which perhaps they aren't, but they will feel that they can come into this one and definitely take something out of it. They felt that before the World Cup even started, so they've just got to make sure that they get the basics right for the next 10 minutes and don't concede any more points. Well taken, and the English forwards very much on the front foot in this early encounters, and a penalty conceded. So, well, you talked about winning the game up front.
Well, I'm just trying to remember when I last saw a really dynamic English forward drive like that. You know, it's just been very ponderous up until now. There's been no real aggression or dominance at the contact area, and you know, I'm sure they'll take a lot from this, as indeed it'll dent the Samoans' confidence.
Definitely. But by the same token, I mean, even with that early charge down kick, I mean, it wasn't as though Joe Worsley looked as though he was going to beat anyone to it, really. I mean, this has been the major problem. It's so lethargic and flat, slow ball from the breakdown. It would be good to see an evolution during this game, even though it is, I say, only against Samoa. That one to the back of the line didn't look particularly straight, but the referees allowed it to go. Nick Easter and Martin Corrie the front of that one, and the England forwards get a bit of a rumble on. The Samoans have slowed it down slightly, but the English forwards still well in control here. At the back with Shooter. And this really will be a huge dent in the Samoan confidence if the English can get another early score. They are well in control at this stage. Gomersall. Looks for support. Once again, it's slowed down and space out wide here. Josh Lucy joining the line, but the defence across to cover it. Gomersall again. Saki coming in. Just too static though, and this has been the problem with the English attacking play for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Back, and Wilkinson knows they mustn't leave without points, and well, that is the difference.
They're 10 points ahead and 6 minutes on the clock.
Absolutely. Well, it was not the start that Michael Jones would have been looking for, and he asked his side for a real difference in approach to this game, because they were incredibly flat against Tonga. It was almost that victory they'd had against them in the Pacific Nations Cup, 50 points to 3, made them think that all they needed to do was turn up. This is the World Cup, though. This is the centre stage for world rugby, and Samoa, who have enjoyed a rich tradition in this competition, twice making the quarter-finals, well, they're just not quite looking there. And when you compare it to the Tongan performance, I'm probably being harsh on them. There's only 6.5 minutes on the clock and they haven't really had any possession, but they do need something different. And Satiti's got a real uphill struggle here to try and lift it. They look flat again. But then again, if English possession and ball is as languid as we've seen over the last months, and they give away rather needless penalties like that, and the Samoans are given a window of opportunity back into this game.
Well, it was a poor piece of play there by Nick Easter, I think, at the base of the scrum. I mean, he went one way and then came the other way, and well, you can see Gomersall holding back Junior Polu, preventing the tackle.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting thing, because as I said, Gavin Williams, definitely the man that you'd back to slot your penalties, and he's done so with excellent accuracy for the Samoans throughout this competition so far. He's injured. He is with the team here watching the game today, but it's Loki Crichton who takes on the kicking duties, and well, can he respond to the challenge? You do feel if it goes down to a straight shootout between him and Wilkinson, I'm pretty sure I know the majority of the world's money would be.
Yeah, I think it'd be foolish to bet against Wilkinson.
Now down at the sidelines we've got Tulson Tollett. Tulson, how have the opening exchanges taken your fancy in this one?
What I can tell you is that Lockie Crichton moves into this kick and hits it rather sweetly, so 3 points there to Samoa after.
If the scoring continues as it started, you may well be right there, Tulson. Now, the first time that Polu has had a chance to run with the ball, and that puts plenty of pressure out on the wing on Cueto. Does well there, the winger. Gomersall responds with the box kick of his own, but one wrapped up by Loki Crichton. And And the English look to counter-attack. This time, the left boot of Johnny Wilkinson once again putting the pressure on.